This is the Recovery Lab.
Here we dive deep into the struggles, victories, and hope that stem from recovery.
No shame, no judgment, just truth, grace, and inspiration.
Let's walk this road together.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Recovery Lab. This is episode 130. I'm
130.
That's a big one. I'm here with author, veteran, trainer, coach, Jordan Jones, author. Like, I've read your book. It's really, really cool. I mean, it's all the stuff I'm into: diet, exercise, cold plunge, meditation. I mean, it's like it's written for somebody. I don't know if I'm the avatar or not, but I was really digging it.
Maybe you were, man. Maybe we were connected somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely not something I thought I was ever going to do.
Yeah.
Sit down and write a book or a guide, as I like to call it. But yeah.
So tell us what Holos is.
So Holos is a performance and wellness company geared specifically towards tactical professionals. Originally. Man, it's kind of changed into just anybody that deals with stress. So high stress professionals across the board. So whether that's military, law enforcement, EMS, high-end surgeons, even truck drivers.
Yeah.
So anybody that deals with stress.
I know truck drivers be stressing me out, man.
No doubt.
All right, so check it out. All right, so you've been in here a few times with different clients. Most recently, you were out at Defining Wellness talking with Daniel Pfeiffer and Courtney Milan.
What up, D-Dub?
And we just have to, and I hate for you to have to repeat yourself, and I highly recommend that people go and check out those episodes. But your story, your background story, is too good to just like not talk about. So.
Okay.
Can we start from the beginning? Let's talk about like how you got involved with the military, like the backstory with that. I also want to talk about like all of the stuff that you went with your wife, like the struggles that you went with through there. I think that was super, super incredible to hear, like a big, strong guy talk about like his feelings and be vulnerable about that. Like, I want to talk about that, but let's focus on. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. Like, what got you into the military? What did life look like? I really, really want to focus on that because it is absolutely an insane story.
Well,
all right, take it away, brother.
I'm glad you see it that way, for sure. The very beginning is me being 6, 7 years old and my dad getting in trouble for letting me watch John Rambo First Blood. And for whatever reason, that resonated with me as a little guy and thinking, man, I want to be a Green Beret.
Yeah.
And I chased after that for as long as I can remember. My parents tried to talk me out of it, being in the military. I went to college for about 2 years, and that was all I could stand. I was like, man, I want to go to the military. I do not enjoy going to school. And I tried to go active duty out the gate. And at the time, this is in 2004, 2005, they had a contract where I had read all about Army Rangers also. And so I was like, man, that's what I want to do. I want to go active duty, go to airborne school, go straight into Ranger Battalion. And then they had a contract at the time where you could do 2 years in Ranger Bat and then go to Special Forces selection and qualification course and all the things. And I was like, that's it. I went and talked to a recruiter. That's what I was going to do. And I came home. My parents were just upset that was the path I was going to take. And so they talked me into going into the National Guard. They were like, look, what if you hate it? Like, well, I didn't really think like that. And they were like, well, why don't you like ease into it, go guard. And if you love it, then just transfer over to active duty. None of us knew that's really difficult to do. Like, so, but in my mind, I was like, that's a great option. Okay. I know I'm going to love it. So I'll just swap over after I get in and everything. So I go to basic AIT airborne school, come home. Loved it, and tried to swap over, and that is not how it works. It doesn't work where you can just go from guard, go to active
Right.
duty. So I end up I was a Louisiana National Guardsman for the first several years of my career. And that led me to my first deployment where I went to Iraq for roughly 400 days. And I was a newlywed and we were pregnant. And I came home to a 9-month-old son.
Wow.
So, yeah, right out the gate, we started just stacking stress into our lives.
Yeah.
I came home from that trip in 2009. And on my way home from that trip, I still chasing a Green Beret. By then, I thought they had a program where you could swap to active duty while you were on active duty. So I go try out in Kuwait. They had a little tent, a special forces tent. You could go try out, do your PT test, all the things.
Yeah.
I did them, passed everything, and then they get to the point and they're like, "Oh, dude, you're a National Guards guy," and I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "We don't have that program anymore, man. So
man.
you're going home." It's like, okay. So I go home with my unit, but during that deployment, and I don't know if I told you this or not, but they had a thing called the Best Warrior competition.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So,
Elaborate.
man, we it's funny that in a combat zone there's still those kind of things going on at the same time simultaneously. There's like these admin stuff going on, and they were looking for the NCO of the quarter, which is non-commissioned officer of the quarter. And I had a high PT score because I was training to go to selection. And they said, "Hey, you're going to go do this thing." So I show up. I'm the only guy there. I win by default, which was awesome. But it qualified me to go to the All Iraq competition, which I did. And there actually was people there. Won that. And because I couldn't swap over to active duty when I came home from that trip, I was qualified for the stateside competition. So I did state of Louisiana, the region, all guard, and then got invited to all Army competing. So, from 2009 to about 2011, that's all I did was train for this competition and compete against other soldiers all over the U.S., which was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess in the back of my mind, I was like, it's keeping me in shape. I couldn't cross over yet. It just hadn't worked out. God's timing wasn't there to go BSF yet. And through that training, I ended up and winning those competitions. I ended up getting a job at the non-commissioned officers academy in Louisiana, just outside of Alexandria, Louisiana, and I worked there for 2 years. At the end of the 2 years, I went to my sergeant major and was like, "Hey, I really want to go try to be a Green Beret." And he was from Ranger Battalion, so he understood that itch of like wanting to try something more. And so he said, "Look, I'll let you go to selection, and I'll keep you on orders here. We'll figure out how to like navigate who's paying for what or whatever to let you go. And if you make it, then we'll figure out what's the next phase." So I finally got my chance to go to selection and passed.
Nice.
Came home, and
Yeah.
so that was in August of 2013 or 14. And excuse me, and by December we had moved to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, with now 3 kids.
Yeah.
And started the Special Forces qualification course. So yeah, that's how, that's a long span of time. I mean, it took me, I guess, 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
To finally get
Stick to itiveness, man. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't have any quit in me or if I'm just too stupid to quit. I don't know how you classify that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what got me to being a Green Beret. And that's also leading into I finished the Q course and immediately went for my second deployment to Iraq. And this is where things like this Q course is very stressful in itself, going through selection process, then qualification process. It's hard on your family and on you. We moved back from that.
Did your family have, I mean, did your wife have support? Like, did y'all live on a base? Like, did she have like friends that she could kind of connect with, or like, or was she just literally kind of a single mom while you were gone?
Yeah, so that's kind of a funny thing that did happen. It was both of our first times to ever move that far away from home. And so no family, all of our families from Louisiana. So for like the first, I'd say 3 months, she was very, I feel like now, very lonely. Then she met someone, like she would walk our kid. We lived on post, to answer that question. We did. We lived on an off post housing, but it was all military, so it's still on post ish. She would walk our kids to school every day, and then she started meeting moms and getting that support network built and relationships going. And then it was, it stabilized after that. Now I was in and out due to training. So like I would be gone to hospitals training, or late nights working, going through different training iterations or whatever it is. So, but as far as like her stability, it got better when she started making some friends and other wives whose husbands were doing the same things. So she ended up having a really good support network, which is, I mean, it's huge, and it's hard to find. It was easy to find there. It's hard to find as a Special Forces National Guard guy when you move to like Mississippi. There's Green Berets here, but we're all spread out.
Right.
And so it's hard to find other wives or other families that kind of get that when you come back. But while we were there, it was actually not that bad, I don't think. And at least in my perspective, I mean, it's stressful, but it got better, I would say.
Was it all you'd hoped it be, being a beret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What'd you get into?
Man, it was the pinnacle of my career.
Yeah.
I think your time on a team, or Special Operations ODA, which stands for Operational Detachment Alpha. When you're on that team, there's just something about the camaraderie and the brotherhood of being with other guys that have been tested the same as you, and they passed, and that no matter what, that guy isn't going to quit. He's got you. No matter how bad things get, he's already been proven that he's not going to quit. He's going to keep pushing with you. And if you go through a door, he's right behind you. You're not ever going anywhere alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are definitely my fondest memories of my entire military career, was being on a team, be it short. I guess I was on a team, let's see, 2018 to 2023.
Okay.
Something like that.
Pretty good run, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Good.
And 2 deployments inside of there. So first deployment, like I said, we came out of the Q course, and I wasn't home very long at all. Went straight back to Iraq, and then came home from that. And I was home maybe a year and started pre-mobing for the next trip to Africa, and came home from that. And getting home from Africa was COVID. So I actually got stuck in Africa, and then I got stuck in Spain, but not in a fun kind of way. Like Spain sounds like, heck yeah, who doesn't want to be stuck there? It was not. It was not fun during COVID. We were all just locked down there.
Yeah.
Came home, and the process for getting home is you go to like a out processing post. We get there and nobody knows what to do. The whole country's shut down. So now I'm stuck we were at Fort Bragg. So I get there and get stuck there for, I don't know, 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And I finished my out processing, rent a car, and just drive home from Fort Bragg back to Louisiana. And, that whole process is stressful. That's 3 years of life that I've lived on the road away from her and 3 kids.
Yeah.
We then,
what is your mindset during that? Like, that someone looking back could, if they're not kind of approaching life with an attitude of gratitude, they could look back and kind of be resentful of what could be perceived as wasted time. When you're within that time, what is your mindset? Are you just, hey, this is my job, this is my path, this is what I have to do?
Mhm.
Or are you kind of like white knuckling it every single day? Like how does how would someone that's in the military handle and balance kind of those negative thoughts and feelings of I am serving my country, this is my job, and also I am completely absent from my family. Like, what is that? How do you do
Oh
that?
man, so just being transparent, I did not do that well, and that's what led to our marriage suffering and everything. I was very mission focused, goal oriented.
Did your wife understand that? Or there's
No,
only so much that a wife could
that's
really
right.
understand about that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think she understood, and she did a really good job at, the entire time. I did not. She was as understanding as she could be until she couldn't anymore, till she hit her wall, you know. And I didn't see it because I was so tunnel visioned on I'm on a team. This is my job. And in
Yeah, a
my
little in defense. I mean, isn't that what the teams are about? I mean, you guys
Mhm.
aren't supposed to. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's always mission critical. Always. I
Yeah,
mean, so were the other guys going through the same? I mean, isn't this pretty par for the course for a
it
teams guy?
is. Yeah, it is. It is. It's definitely probably more of a single man's job than it is a married guy. Most married guys I know have difficulty balancing the team life and the married life. Those two aspects are tearing you apart. And
Yeah.
so, but this, you just start believing so much in the team and the mission and being there for each other
Mhm.
that you see that as life or death situations. And this has to have all of my attention so
Yeah.
that we all make it home from whatever it is we're doing. And you justify that. You justify that they're going to be okay. They understand. And my wife did for a long time. Like she did really well with it. And my kids did too.
Was there open communication about this when it was going on, or was it just I trust my wife is incredible. I know that she's going to be able to handle this. I love her with all my heart. She's going to understand. On the other side of this, she's going to completely understand. Or was there ongoing conversation? Hey, was she able? Did she feel comfortable coming to you and being like, "Hey, you know, this is something that I'm struggling with," or did she kind of hold all that in to herself to protect you? I guess
Man,
maybe.
that's a tough question. I think there was some open dialogue throughout it. Probably not enough, because I think she did kind of protect me from it as much as she could, and just accepted it. And I don't know that not in a good way, not in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is human. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you guys are being asked to do the impossible thing, which is be apart as a family and grow a family together. Like,
yeah. And we were not growing a family together.
yeah,
She was growing a family, and I was like going out and playing soldier in the woods, you know,
right.
chasing fake bad guys or chasing real bad guys, whether it's training or real life. That's what I was doing, and I loved it. And there's a running joke or a running saying that, you know, SF guys you're married to your team,
Yeah.
and then you've got this wife at home,
Right. Right.
like that
Yeah, it
washes your
has-
laundry and takes care of everything
Yeah.
at the house. But you have this mistress over here that is the
Right.
ODA. That's your mistress that you're giving all your time and every dedication to, all the things that you would normally give to your spouse. The team is eating all of that up.
It takes a bulletproof spouse to be able to handle that.
God does, and mine definitely was. Like she was great. She was great.
It's insane.
She did a really, really good job taking care of kids, taking care of the house. I mean, everything you can imagine that a couple does together, she did a lot of it alone. Like the only thing I may have done was pay bills, but a lot of that was set up on auto draft. Like,
Yeah.
so I wasn't really doing that either. But she's like going grocery shopping,
Mhm.
making sure kids are wherever they need to be and their grades are kept up and that they're fed and the house is clean and doing all the sports and stuff like that.
And they're
then-
happy.
Oh yeah, that they're happy, and that she's even like running cover for me. That's like dad's job is this, and that's what he's doing, and whatever. And then I'm calling as much as I can while I'm away. But yeah, it definitely takes a special woman, and that's what mine was or is.
Yeah.
It still is to this day.
That's
like
awesome.
she's great.
Hell yeah.
It But like I said, everybody has their breaking point. So like there's only so long that can go. And it was
Did y'all find it?
Yeah, we found it. We definitely found the bottom of the barrel.
What was it?
So between those two trips, I come back from Africa, and I got a job over here in Mississippi full time. So this is a nuance inside the Guard is active duty National Guard, right? So AGR or ADOS, whatever you want to call it. There's two different forms of it, but I had been active duty National Guard my entire career. And so my next position was here in Mississippi in Jackson. Well, because of COVID, our house wouldn't sell in Louisiana to get the family over here. We bought some land over here that we were going to build a house on and all this stuff. But like everybody knows, during COVID, 2x4s went up to what?
Yeah.
Like $9 a piece or something crazy. And when we got our quote for lumber, they were like, we can't like,
Can't even give it to you.
no, yeah, that's right. They were like, we can't even give
moving
you
so
a
fast.
quote
Yeah.
because in 24 hours, the price is going to go up.
Yeah.
And I was like, geez, man, I was living here during the week right off that trip. So mind you, I just got home from a 6-month trip, got trapped at Fort Bragg. So now I'm 8 months. I've been away from the house. Now I'm driving over here, living here during the week, going home on the weekends to be with them.
Mm.
And that ends up going on for a year because we can't build, we can't do anything. COVID's got everything messed up. And we get to the point where the bank is like, look, we can't do this. And that was the breaking point. It was like, we bought this 50 acres. We're going to build our dream home that she helped, like she got with an architect or whoever, and they drew it up, and that's not happening. And she was like, look, everything you've said that this was going to be and the doors that this would open didn't. And I've been pretty much a single mom for going on like 10 years or whatever at that point. She's like, so I just don't know. Well, I like lose it at that point. Like I'm a man that has just had the wind sucked out of his chest, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to lose my family. All of a sudden, like reality clicks that like now everything you mentioned earlier about like the regret and like, where have I been? All these things I've missed. Now it's like, was all that worth it?
Paying for it.
Because now it's all going to just go away. And I move her over here in a camper. Very, I don't know what's the word. Like she did not want to do it.
Yeah. Reluctantly, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, reluctantly. There you go. She moves over here in a camper on this 50 acres because we can't build a house. And this house we're currently in comes on the market. And they're like, we're only going to leave this house on the market for 3 days or whatever, put your bids in. So we put a bid in on this house, or she did, because she was like, I'm buying a house. I'm not living in a camper forever. Like down by the river. Like I want to be in a home. The kids deserve being a home, all the things, right? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. So we buy the house and move into it. And man, we're not in a good place. We're still together. We're not really talking. And
are you roommates at this point?
Oh yeah. I would say so. And I think she would agree with that if she was in here. We should have her on one of these things.
We can
and
do
let
that.
her tell her side of this story and like what she thinks about if she would do it. But
David, you down for that?
Yeah. She was, you know, I think, I look at everything from a biblical worldview. Mm-hmm. So from a faith perspective, that woman did not leave the house because of anything I did. It was strictly God, divine intervention that she didn't like leave. Mm-hmm. She's told me, she's like, I don't know why I didn't like just leave. So we were roommates in the house, right? And in that year of me living in Jackson and going home on the weekends and stuff, I had already like had enough, you know, 2 back-to-back deployments, being gone so much. I was tired of being alone. I was pretty lonely living over here and then driving over there. Mm-hmm. And that forced me to like get back in my Bible. Like I was already like trying to do these things, but I just wasn't around them for them to see any of that. So like I'm trying to do the right things. I'm spending what time I can with them at the house. And now we're here and she can't hear any of that. Like because I'd already burned that bridge so well. And I tell this in all my classes too. This same story kind of gets talked about inside the class, but the Holos class. But I get to a point where I feel like God was trying to get my attention, and I wasn't listening. And I jump out of an airplane, or it was a helicopter, and land. The back of my heels impact the ground, and then my parachute snatches me back, and I land on the back of my head, and get pretty concussed. You ever been like knocked out, or somebody's choking you out or anything like that, and you get like this black ring that like everything's going
small.
Yeah, everything's going dark.
Yeah.
And I can hear a buddy of mine hollering my name. And as I like try to start waking up, I give him one of these, like put my thumb up where he can see it. And he gets over there to me. We pack my chute up. I don't remember much of that. I don't remember getting off the DZ and getting back. And by the time I get back, I'm kind of coming to and starting to realize what's up, but I'm the medic. So everybody's like, "Are you okay?"
Damn.
Like, "You're the medic. Tell us, are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm good. I think I'll be fine. And they're like, "Well, we got to like suit up for another jump." And everybody's eating and I'm not eating. And they're like, "Dude, you're not eating your food. Like, are you sure you're okay?" Well, my team leader comes over, who's a really close friend of mine. And he's like, "Let's just go to the ambulance. Just go let them check you out." Okay. So we go over there and they're like, "You need to go to the hospital, bud." So I end up riding to the hospital. They do all their x-rays and they're like, "Yep, pretty serious concussion. No more jumping for you today." They're like, "But we really want to do a CT scan." I'm like, why? And now as a medic, like I'm wide awake. I'm like, "Why do you want to do a CT scan of my neck?" And they're like, "Well, we see some stuff in there." And I was like, "What do you mean you see some stuff on my neck?" They explain to me what's going on. And they're like, "Well, it looks like you broke it or something. We can't really tell. That's why we're going to do a CT scan." I'm like, "Okay." So we go do a CT scan, come back. And he's like, do you recall a time where you broke your neck or broke anything inside there or hurt your back really bad? Man, I have fallen so many times and jumping out of aircraft or doing whatever and rucking. I was like, I have no idea when I injured it that severely. And they're like, "Well, you injured it really bad at some point and it's healed back kind of crazy. You got some bulging discs in there and degenerative disc disease, like all these things." And then I was like, "Okay, like what does that mean?" And they're like, "It means like you don't need to jump out of airplanes anymore or ruck or deadlift heavy things or back squat heavy things, like all the things that you need to do to be on a team." And I'm like, dude, like the combination of that getting sucked out of me, like the team, this thing that had become my identity is going away. My marriage is trash right now. I was like, dude, I don't have a clue what to do. And the team is like, "Man, we'll work around it. We'll keep you around and whatever." And Paula, my wife, is like, "Again, you're just going to choose the Army. Like you're going to choose a way around all of this to do it." And I was like, "Nope, I'm done."
Yeah, it seems like God was like, "Hey, here's a sign, here's a sign,
Yeah.
here's a sign, here's
I'm
a sign."
hard-headed, dude.
Paula's like, "Here's a sign, here's a sign, here's a sign." And you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you finally, like, that was that moment. That was that fork in the road.
It definitely was the fork in the road, man. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I literally got on the phone within days of that and called my team sergeant and was like, "Hey," we were actually slotted to go to Mount Rainier and climb Mount Rainier. The team was going to go summit it. And I was like, "Dude, that's going to be awesome." Like that's the team kind of stuff that you're looking forward to, right? And I was like, "Hey man, I need to come off the team." He was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. You know, I'm burnt out. I'm done. I'm physically injured. I hurt all the time. We all hurt all the time. I don't want to lose my family over this. I don't want to die over this." Like,
What was his first reaction, his gut reaction?
he was like, "Man, I'm not going to take you off the team." He's like, "I'm not taking you off the team, dude. We need a medic. You're a great medic. We're going to keep you. Like, let's just take a knee and drink water and let this pass over, and then you'll be good." And I was like, like I'm hard headed in all directions. And so I was like, "No, dude, I'm not doing it. You're not listening to me. I'm done." And he was like, "Okay, I'll call the like ops sergeant over everything." So he calls him. That guy calls me, and he's like, so you want off the team? I said, yep, I don't care where you put me. Take me off the team. And he was like, okay. He's like, okay, we'll put you in the training debt and you'll move to that section. He said, it'll probably take some time. You can still do some stuff with the team if you want to, and as much or as little as you want, or you can just do training detachment stuff. And I was like, deal. Like, that's all I'm doing. Well, I go home and I tell my wife, I'm like, took myself off the team. And she was like, well, that's dumb. And I was like,
What?
I'm like, well, why? Why is that
No.
dumb? And she's like, because like that's like your family. Like, that's what's important to you. And like, I'm telling you, you can have it. Like, I'm done. I was like, no, like, I'm done. I'm off the team.
I choose you.
Yeah. I was like, I'm done choosing the Army. I choose you. And I had to fix, like, that was me. Like, I had to fix all of that and work on myself and come back from that. And what really started it, I started going, we go to couples therapy. The lady ends up saying,
Whose idea was that?
Mine. That was
Awesome.
mine. Yeah. She had asked me to go in the past, so I'll give her, like,
Sure.
she
She planted the seed.
it was originally her idea, but at this point, she was done.
Desperation took over.
Yeah, at this point, she was done. So she was like, I don't care if we go or not. And I kept on about going. And she finally said, okay, yeah, we'll go. We go. We do, I don't know how many sessions, and we get kicked out of couples therapy because we're just like, it's a madhouse in there for us. And like, we didn't know how to be a couple because we hadn't really been a couple.
Lots of things to untangle in that.
Man, we probably should have been going to couples therapy, like,
Yeah.
at least 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And here we are, we got all this stuff piled up in our backpacks on each other, or just life or whatever. And she was like, you two need to go work on yourselves. It's like, okay. My wife goes and does that immediately. And I'm like, I'm not going to talk. Like, I was trying to fix our marriage. I ain't trying to fix me. Well, Paula comes home one day and she's like, hey, I really think it would be beneficial if you would start going too, if you could find somebody. So I did. I went to counseling or mentoring, whatever you want to call it. Like, I know there's all kinds of stigma around the word therapy and counseling and whatever.
It's getting less and less, though.
Yeah, that's true. And for good reason, because there's definitely something to be said about sitting in a room with somebody and talking about how you really feel openly, and like, no judgment, no nothing. It's like, you say something that you're even embarrassed you feel, and they're like, well, it's honest. You're being honest, and feelings lie to you. So the feeling will go away at some point. Like, we can work through this, but you have to say it, like, get it out of your system. So for 3 years I do that, but back up, we both initially start going, and this is the point in time where we start coming back together. We get the opportunity to go on a really cool couples retreat together. I had bought her and my middle son tickets to go see a baseball game. I think it's the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
And they were playing the Angels, and my son is, Mike Trout, I think is his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
He plays for the Angels.
I think so. I'm just agreeing to agree right now. I'm not.
I'm pretty sure that's who he wanted to see, and that was the closest game he was going to be at. So I bought them both tickets and sent them out there for that. And I'm laying in bed that night that they're at the game, and she texts a picture of a cabin in Montana. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. This is like 11:30 at night. I was like, why is she sending me that? We weren't like doing great still. We were doing better, but not great. I was like, that's really cool. And she texts back and she's like, no, it's a nonprofit for special operations guys and families. They have one slot available. Something like this might really be good for us.
Oh, wow.
She was putting a major bid out
Yeah. And I bit, dude.
in the relationship.
Yeah. I
Beautiful.
freaking bit.
Yeah, you did, bro.
I didn't know what to do
Hell
with it,
yeah.
like how to get that. So what I
Yeah.
did is I just emailed that nonprofit directly and said, hey, this is my name. Here's our story. This is what's been going on. I was honest about everything. And by 6 a.m, we had an email back that was like, hey, I need you and your wife's information. We're buying you plane tickets. You're going to Montana.
Oh, wow.
And so we go up there for 8 days, 9 days or something like that. And they had set up dates every day. from like skeet shooting to ATV riding to kayaking. Geez, what else? Mountain biking. All these things over the entire course of the week. Couples massages, like all kinds of stuff. And so I think that was really beneficial. We come home from that, and I'm off the team, you know, completely for sure at this point, and are not being active with the team at all. And a friend of mine calls me, or I called my old team sergeant first, and I was like, "Hey, do you have any orders I can get on to, but be home? Is that such a thing? Like, I'm not trying to get back to the team. Is there a way I can do some stuff somewhere?" And he was like, "No, but you need to call this guy." He's like, "They got a new position. He's looking for somebody to fill it, whatever." So I call him, and I'm like, "Hey man, I need a job. I need to get back on orders." And he says, "Well, it's human performance and wellness." Excuse me. And I was like, what is that? He's like, "Well, you're a medic, dude. This actually might be perfect.
Yeah.
I think you're a great fit." And he was like, "Weren't you like a master fitness trainer earlier in your career?" And I was like, "Yep." And he was like, "Perfect, dude. Come on." And so I come in, and this is kind of where Holos starts being built unknowingly. Like, I'm completely unwitting.
God knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I'm unwitting to it, but God knows what he's doing. And so I'm going to counseling, and I'm trying to fix myself. We're trying to fix our marriage. We're coming back together, and things are going really well. And then I get this job, and I show up, and I'm like, "What is human performance and wellness? Like, what is the job description?" They're like, "Dude, we don't know. It's brand new. You're going to write the program, and then you're going to write the standards, and whoever comes after you, they're going to have to replicate whatever you make. So do it really well."
Don't mess it up.
Yeah, exactly. Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
SOCOM has mandated it, so it has to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
What is SOCOM? Sorry for the.
Special Operations Command.
Okay.
Had mandated everybody had to have some kind of holistic health program. And inside of the Green Berets, we named it Human Performance and Wellness is our program. And for the Guard, that's a really weird thing, because on active duty, it works great to have this performance and wellness thing when it's brick and mortar and everybody lives there, the families are there.
Yeah.
We have this place that you can go that has physical therapists, strength conditioning coaches, all the things, nutrition coaches, and you go to this one facility and they all do it. But it doesn't work for the Guard because
They're home 3 weeks.
yeah. We're everywhere too. We have guys in all 50 states that come to Mississippi to be Green Berets. And so I was like, okay, how do you navigate that? And I basically just looked at what is the most important issues right now. And it was suicide awareness, like not just awareness, but suicide prevention. And then things like, divorce rates and addiction rates and burnout rates, all of that stuff. And I was like, well, how do you prevent that? Like, nobody likes going to a suicide prevention class. They just don't. Nobody likes that.
Who gave you those items to say, hey, are those things that you just self-identified, or are these things?
No,
that
that's things that, military wide that they care about. Like, they're aware of the suicide rates, and they care about that, and they care about retention. They care about losing soldiers. And so that being top on the docket was like, okay, I can work. That's the starting point.
Yeah.
So how do we get, from a medical standpoint, how do we get to suicidal ideations? Divorce rates definitely are there. Addiction rates, guys are drinking too much. I mean, drinking is the most culturally accepted way to cope with anything. So that's everywhere. It's part of the culture inside the military. And then if you go left of that is burnout, like guys start drinking and doing all these other things because they're burnt out. And I had just lived that life. And I was like, okay, how do we get left of burnout? How do you get a guy healthy or keep him healthy? So that just sent me down this rabbit hole of looking at all these different holistic health protocols out there that were all in separate silos, and saying, okay, how do you put them all underneath one umbrella? How do you take, like, nutrition is an issue, sleep is an issue, strength and conditioning is an issue, like staying fit is something we care about. All of these things collectively, if they were tracked in one place and we looked at in one place and we get a guy healthy in all these areas, including relationally and emotionally, maybe we can get left of burnout. And now we're left of divorce rates and addiction rates, and we're way left of suicidal ideations at that point. So that's what I started trying to build. And it took, 3 years of me in that position, almost 4 years of me in that position to get it all kind of worked out. Towards, I guess, maybe a year ago is where Holos became a thing. Almost exactly a year ago. I think last February is when it started. The counter drug program, which is ran by the National Guard, my former team leader works out there. And he said, hey, we're building a resiliency program. We know what you're doing over here with our dudes. Would you come show us that? I said, yeah, I'll come. I'll come pitch it. So I go over there and give them like a 2-hour presentation of the class and what I'd been teaching our guys and what had been working for our guys. And he's like, dude, we love it. And I was like, well, you can have it. Like, here's the slide deck. Here's all the stuff. He's like, hey, would you, you should probably write like a student guide to go with this. I was like, okay. So I start writing student guides. I was an instructor, like I said earlier, so I knew that was, you have like your terminal learning objectives and like a little guide that goes along with each section of the class. So I start writing that, and I was sending him copies of it as I was finishing chapters, not really chapters, but sections of it. I started sending them to him. One of the ones I sent him was actually on hormone replacement therapy. And he happened to be, that morning, he was sitting in the doctor's office to get his labs drawn. And I had written up all the labs that you should get drawn and why and what that looks like and all the signs and symptoms and whatever. But when the doctor comes in, he was like, hey, I want you to draw these things. And on his phone. He was like, where'd you get this from? He's like, I don't know, one of my dudes. And he was like, one of your dudes? Like, what does that mean? Nobody knows we're Green Berets or whatever, and nobody knows what a Green Beret medic does. But he's like, he's a medic. He's a special operations medic. He's writing some guides. This is one of them. And he was like, dude, this is great. He needs to reference this stuff, though. He needs to have references for it because, like, if somebody was reading this, why? Like, they can go find where he came up with it. So he texts me. He's like, dude, find references and make this legit. And I was like, I have the references. That's how I have it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. So I add the references. I keep sending him stuff. And that ends up turning into the guide you have sitting there that he was like, man, you should
yeah, what
literally.
a cool book, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. I really enjoyed going through it.
So yeah, it was written to go along with the PowerPoints and the conversation in a classroom. But he was like, man, this is really good, and I think people would find it value added. Why don't you just throw it on Amazon? And
it's
that way
comprehensive too. I mean, it's A to Z. It's insane.
Thanks. Thank you. That's I wanted it to be easy to read and to the point. So it's not like, oh, we're going to the lake. Let's go get the operator guide to health and read about the stories of a Green Beret. It's nothing like that. It's stress does these things. Here's what it does to you physically or physiologically. This is what it does to you. And here's some practical applications that you can do yourself when you walk away from it. And that's what I was teaching my guys. I was literally going into team rooms and saying, hey, this is what traumatic brain injury does to you. This is what depression and anxiety do to you. This is what living in the sympathetic nervous system does to you. And this is how you got it. Like, this is where it came from inside your life. And then we don't really deep dive the biology of it down to the micro level or anything like that. It's just, this is upfront, very
terms
shallow.
that anybody can understand.
That's what I tried to keep it at. Yep. And when we got done with that, I'm like, dude, I can't leave you guys with just all this information of the why. Here's some how we can fix it. Start doing these things, And that translated into the guide too, of like, not only here's the education piece of how stress is affecting your life, here's some things you can do to start rehabbing it today, and like really simple
Some
things.
actionable steps.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what, man, that's evolved into a 1-day class and a 3-day class, and then a whole distance learning platform where we did exactly what we're doing. We sat down and did conversations about nutrition or about traumatic brain injury or about faith and relationships and how that impacts how to keep your priorities straight through whatever high stress job you're in. And we, so far I think we filmed like 8 hours of that, and it's on the distance learning platform. And then through that, it was like, well, if we're going to do the education piece, we might as well stick with the whole theme we've done this entire time and have a practical application side. So that turned into creating a fitness app that has nutrition, fitness, cognitive
and let's
coaching.
just say it's so much more than a fitness app. There are billions and billions of fitness apps. This goes far beyond a fitness app. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah. So, and instead of just being able to do your workouts, which is what most fitness apps tend to cling to, we actually have a nutrition coach on the backside, so that they can track. You can get a fitness, like a nutrition plan. And then if you have like MyFitnessPal and you're already tracking what you eat, you can sync that and it'll sync what you're eating into the fitness app. Or you can log it directly into that app if you don't want to get an external app to do that. Then what's really cool about it also is it will sync to your Garmin, Aura Band, Fitbit, Apple Watch, most of your major platforms that have fitness apps.
Tracking?
That track like HRV, stress, sleep, all those things. It'll pull that data into this one app, and you can see all of it on one dashboard. So you can see what your workout is for the day, track your meals for the day, see all of your sleep data and HRV data and stress levels, all of that in one platform. And then we had to get kind of creative with physical therapy, because physical therapy should be in person or whatever.
Kind of tailored.
Yeah, it should be. It should be, right? And so I got with my physical therapist that works with us, and he's a super smart guy. And he was like, dude, what if we just do a physical therapy self-assessment, head to toe, like things you can check on yourself by yourself and know, do I need to go to physical therapy based off my findings, or this is what's bothering me, and maybe I just maybe there's some rehab I can do on my own. And we videoed that, how to do that yourself. So you can do physical therapy inside the app too. We just added it we had to get kind of creative with that and make it like a playlist as if it was a workout, but it's still in there. So but it's just named physical therapy instead of being named, whatever workout name you would give a workout program. And then it has yoga and mobility in it also for like stress reduction. Breath work is in there. Yeah. So it's fairly comprehensive, I believe, as far as wellness is concerned. So I would call it more of a wellness app than a fitness app.
Yeah, 100%. It's insane. It's insane.
Is it called Holos?
Holos Fit is what it
Okay.
will be called.
Okay.
So it's not white label yet. We're getting really close to that point.
Okay,
but it's,
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So what else? So you've got the app. So what are you doing right now as far as getting this in front of people? Like what are your obviously you're making the podcast. I've just blanked out on that. Junket. There it is.
Yeah.
What else are you doing kind of to get this in front of people right now? Because there's military personnel, men, women, there's as a civilian, me speaking about myself, looking at you guys, big, strong, confident, bulletproof. But the reality of the situation is you guys are human just like us.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're bridging this, hey, yes, we're big, strong, we're trained, we're literally trained killers. we're warriors in a garden. But what you're saying now is, hey, it's okay to be human.
Mhm.
It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to have fear, anxiety, worry, anger. Like these things are okay. And that's kind of what that's the macro view of this. You're opening up that door for these big, strong military personnel to be like, hey, it's okay for me to admit that I'm human and I can let my guard down for just a second. So what are you doing? Obviously, you've laid out a beautiful floor plan thus far, but what are these actionable steps that you're doing right now to get this in front of people?
So we have a contract with the Regional Counter Narcotics Academy that gets it in front of law enforcement, military, and EMS because it's a federally funded academy. We use them. We also went through the steps to get certified by the state as a continuing education platform for through DPS. So anybody that falls underneath DPS throughout the state now can get continuing education hours by taking the classes, whether that's in person or distance learning.
That's
Both of them
huge,
all
dude.
got
Yeah.
That's
certified.
big. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a process, but it was one I think that was worth it to
Interstate
get done.
potential?
Hmm?
Interstate potential?
Yeah, you're talking about moving to
Yeah.
other states.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've spoke with Louisiana DPS and Alabama DPS, and they said as long as the department or organization inside the state, if they accept it, then the state level will accept it as continuing education hours also. So in their states, it's up to the unit level or organization level.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's the same, and then we're talking with Arkansas. I've done some classes in Texas also, and they have a whole different process. The way we do things in Texas has been through RCTA, the Counter Narcotics Academy.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if we do it underneath their academy, it is continuing education for them. So as far as like advertising or whatever, it's been through Mississippi DPS or through the academy here currently. And I mean, we have our social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, YouTube, all the things I spent my entire adult life staying away from have now become the goal or the.
It's insane, isn't it?
And
Like, I hate it.
I do
I
too.
hate it. I loathe like having to go out there and like I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forget about it most of the time. Like
Yeah.
I'll be doing things and not take pictures or not
Yeah.
do stuff to post it so people see us doing things.
What's funny, I have a lot of conflicting. Like I think it's more important to do the do. I
Right.
think it's more important to go and do the thing. And I
Yeah.
see a lot of people who are like like they're saying I'm doing this thing, and they got a lot of pictures and a lot of videos and but I don't see them doing the thing.
Yeah.
I don't see the thing improving. I don't see people raving about the thing. I just see the people saying I'm doing this thing, and I'm like I don't buy it. I don't
Yeah.
buy it. So I mean, I like maybe if you can get somebody to take some photos, do some things. Absolutely, I think you should. But I think it's more important do the thing. You're doing it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're a living example of it. You're changing people's lives. You're writing books. You're doing stuff. But I see a lot of people out there just fake AF. They're not doing anything. It's like go do the do.
Yeah.
I was listening to Alex Arnold, rock climber specialist on Huberman, and he was talking about like I don't do that stuff. I don't worry about posting. I go climb. Like,
That's
I
right.
climb, and he's the world's best climber. You
Yeah.
know, and that's like just do the thing. And
Yeah.
I think that I don't know. That's what I'm about. I'm doing it. And if
Yeah.
you don't see me on Facebook, it's because I'm out doing stuff.
All right. I'm
Like, I'm
staying
doing it.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's valid for sure. We were kind of talking about this before, but I think what we're going to end up doing is using someone to
Mhm.
do all the documenting for us so that it does free us up to do the thing, which makes sense to me. Like if you're a subject matter expert in
Mhm.
teaching these classes, and wellness, for instance, for Holos, which I feel like we are subject matter experts on it. And there's someone else who is a subject matter expert of
Mhm.
photography and videography or social media.
Yeah.
They should be the ones doing that stuff for you
That's-
to make it
yeah.
happen the right way.
The who not how y'all were talking about before. That's
Yeah.
what Daniel's doing with Audio Alchemy with Recovery Lab. Is like he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves like creating content, making stuff, getting it out there. It's like fun with it, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at it. You leave it up to me, it's going to be a hot mess.
Yeah.
I'm over here on Canva clicking around trying to paint
yeah.
pictures and stuff.
I'm looking for GIFs, dude.
Right.
We're just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a good one. Let's
Yeah.
put this out. Yeah.
Or find other people's content and reshare it.
Yeah,
which isn't helping your brand.
So there's this common kind of thing that I see correlates to your time in special forces and then my time in recovery, and that's a burnout. That's like losing friends left and right. That's putting everything you got into this thing. And I'm not even talking about using. I'm talking about recovery. I'm talking about when we're actually sober.
Yeah.
We just, we're putting a lot of effort into it. We're going to a lot of meetings. We're trying to help other people, and then they start dying. I mean, and then I've been sober almost 16 years. There's been months where we've lost 2 or 3 people,
Wow.
suicide, overdose, and it becomes pretty common to get just almost jaded. I mean, I just had a close friend. He's lived with me twice. I've known him for 10 years. He overdosed just a week ago. And my first response, my first thought was just like, I hate to say it, but about time.
Yeah.
It's just like dusted. And so this idea of like this building up of this trauma, this building up of this stuff, it just like, and this is when we're doing the things we think we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like this is like, I'm serving, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It just builds and builds and builds. It's like with this month being, November, suicide awareness, get out and run 60 miles or do whatever. Just, I don't even know what it's all about, but I think that's what it's about. And having you on, it just really put it on my heart. Like how can you help some of our listeners that are dealing with addiction, and they're probably doing everything they think they're supposed to, and they are doing everything they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But they're still coming up in this burnout. I'm not happy. People are dying. My life's, I'm sober. I'm doing what I need to be doing, but
Right.
it's just not, it's not full.
Yeah.
Because I think that what this book is, and what I do a lot of my off time is this stuff, whether it's cold plunge, talking to people, therapy, taking care of the whole body. I'm doing yoga. It's like, this morning I got up, I did 15 minutes of yoga,
Yeah.
Until my lab attacked me. But that's what we're doing. So what can you help our listeners do? Because they're in the same spot. Like
Right.
what you're doing for high performance, service people like medical technicians or servicemen. People in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, they're trying to stay sober, are kind of in their own way doing the same thing. They're trying to figure it out, and they're putting a lot of effort into it, but they're hitting burnout, and a lot of them aren't happy.
Yeah. So even wellness can cause burnout, I think, when you start like compiling all the different modalities, all the different therapies and whatever. And I tell this in my class when we're talking about that, the culture or wherever you came from, let's just say it's drinking inside of military and law enforcement or whatever, that is your coping mechanism for everything you're dealing with. And unfortunately, drinking does not benefit the sleep. Like, it may help you fall asleep, but it doesn't benefit the sleep that you actually need, the quality of sleep that you need. It prohibits it. So one, that it's not good for you. It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't benefit you in any kind of way other than help you escape for just a little bit. So we have to, create these new neuro pathways, these new habits to take the place of that and learn how to come down or swap over from, without doing a whole anatomy class here. The autonomic nervous system has 2 branches, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is fight or flight. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. And whether you're in recovery from an addiction or if it's stress or whatever you're dealing with, we tend to live in that sympathetic overdrive side of our brain. So in a fight all the time. So how do you swap over there? And that's where these practical applications come in, like box breathing. Have you ever done box breathing? So when you breathe in for 4 to 5 seconds, hold for 4 to 5 seconds, exhale 4 to 5 seconds, and then hold again at the bottom of the breath, that automatically swaps you over to parasympathetic nervous system. And if you're wearing a Garmin or a pulse ox or something that's tracking your heart rate, you can immediately see your heart rate start decreasing, like slowing back down. Drinking water actually does the same thing, because anytime you eat or swallow, you can't live in both sides of the sympathetic or parasympathetic. It's one or the other. You can't be in both at the same time. So if you're swallowing, rest and digest is on that side of the brain. It swaps your brain over to that side and gives you a tactical pause. So you start going through this list of all the things of, like you said, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing mobility, I'm doing my breath work, I'm whatever. I like to put together as many um therapies as I can in one time. And so a good example of that is for me in my life is I have to take my dogs out in the morning. And this is going to sound real hippie, but y'all just bear with me because it works. Go outside barefooted so that you're grounding, right? So I can check that one off the block. I'm getting morning sunlight, so that's setting my circadian rhythm right there. I'm standing out here barefooted while I'm doing a chore that I have to do anyway.
Yeah.
Then what I tried to add into that is controlling my breathing, calming down. I try to layer that again with being thankful and talking to God for a couple minutes while I'm out there watching the dogs run around in the yard, and being even presence. I can practice that at the same time of, I actually said this in my class last week over at Melota. I was like, when's the last time any of you slowed down enough to be present enough to feel a breeze in your face, to look at the sky, to notice the trees are changing colors, all of that, and be thankful for all of that in the moment. So like dogs using the bathroom takes 10, 15 minutes of my time, but in that 10 to 15 minutes, I can hit all of those things and it not be a chore or a checklist. I have to like add up and add more stress and actually irritate the sympathetic nervous system, like become like this. I want to do so good that I have this checklist and I've got to knock off X. And now I'm just setting myself up that if I don't do it, I'm disappointed at myself.
So are you saying that by doing the things we're supposed to be doing, if we just kind of take it too seriously, it can actually put us back in the sympathetic?
Yeah. I think just calming down about it and
approaching it with gratitude.
Yeah, approaching it with gratitude and layering it on things you already do in the day. Like if you tried to have a yoga session and then a workout session and then eat right, and then I need a breathing session during the day, it's like, dude, when do I?
It's overwhelming.
No, it's
when
funny.
am I
So
going to
the
do
other
any
night,
of that?
Like I try not to eat after a certain period.
Yeah.
And it's like it's approaching that hour, and I'm frustrated. And my wife comes in. It's like 8:03, and she's like, "What are we gonna eat?" And I'm like, "I'm done. My window's closed." And we're like, so we don't talk. She's like, I'm going to eat a bowl of cereal, jackass.
Yeah.
You know, but like I turn this thing that's supposed to be a good thing, like I'm taking care of myself, into this like this rigid, not cool.
Yeah.
And it just created more cortisol and more
That's
bad.
right.
And I was telling my sister about it. She's like, you could have just eaten. I mean, like, it's not that big. I'm like, no, I'm doing this thing. And it's like, no, it really, like, let it go.
Yeah, I think having some grace with yourself too, being like, you're not ever going to be perfect. You're just not.
Mhm.
So if you have to eat just outside of your window, how many times do you eat during the week? I mean,
Dude, I drank outside of my window every day.
right.
Like it's 4 in the morning. I'm drinking, dude.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so we might as well.
My window. My
right.
crack window.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're gonna have windows, and let's just say, think about it, change your thought process on it, and say, okay, let's just say you only eat 3 times a day, throw over 7 days, that's 21 meals, and you eat outside of your window twice. So that's what, 19 times. You did
90%.
great.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you start thinking of it that way instead of this one time I messed up. And that's even with anything as you're recovering from anything like alcohol. Let's just say if you drank too much alcohol at one point in your life and you become very rigid, which maybe you need that, but there are other people that are like, I can't have a drink or whatever, but then they feel really guilty about having that drink or those 2 drinks or whatever. It's like, look, you're not going to be perfect. It's a constant refining. Like there's something to the Bible when it's talking about life is a constant refining throughout the entire, it's a journey. So if you're too stringent, you don't have grace on yourself and you don't have grace for other people, like you're going to box yourself into the point where you're just like, I can't do it anyway. I can't maintain the standard anyway.
Why even try?
So why even try? And then now you're back where you were before versus having just a little bit of grace and being like, well, it was 112 days since I looked at porn last time and I messed up. Next time I'm going to do 113 days or whatever it is, whatever your thing is that you're trying to break away from, start putting other things into that pattern and creating those neuro connections there. And the more what's interesting too is the more senses you can get involved at the same time. It's like putting rebar in those neuro pathways. Like you help create that pathway better. So if you are outside and you're feeling the air and you're smelling and you're breathing and you're grounding and you're praying and all these things are compounding in one session, like if you want to call it a session, right? And I do the same thing with cold plunge. Instead of looking at cold plunge as something I have to endure and attack, it's let's change that from fighting the cold plunge. Now, I don't want to get in the thing, but I'm going to get in it because I'm going to. That's what I'm going to do. But instead of fighting it the whole time, it's can I control myself in it? And now I can layer that with breath work and say I'm going to do box breathing.
What's your plunge protocol?
I do I'd never go over 3 minutes. And
Is
then
there a reason for that?
Yeah, so watching Andrew Huberman.
The benefits.
The benefits are maximized at no longer than 3 minute sessions and no more than 11 minutes throughout a week. So in a week you need to stay under 11 minutes. And I had a friend of mine that heard me say this, and he's another SF guy, he's another Green Beret. And this is our tendency as SF guys that are like overachievers already, is he was like, dude, 11 minutes is good.
Every
Guess what,
addict
90
in the world.
minutes.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
90 minutes will do.
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, don't stay in there longer than 3 minutes. And he was like, well, I did 3 minutes every day, and I got real good at it. So now I'm up to like 15 minutes every day. And I was telling him, I was like, dude, you need to probably not do that. At some point, you're going to hit the point of diminishing returns. And he was like, no, dude, I love it. I feel so great. A month goes by. He calls me and he's like, man, I'm sick, dude. Like, I can't get over it. Like, I went from feeling really good to I don't feel good. My freaking nose is always messed up. Like, I feel kind of shaky. And I'm like, still doing those ice baths? And he's like, every day. I'm like, maybe we cut back and let's see if that's what it is. So he cuts back, and all of a sudden all the symptoms go away and he's back down regulated where he should be. And now he's like, yeah, dude, there's something to don't go over 3 minutes. And don't go over 11 minutes total in a week. Like, break your sessions up so that it's that, because you don't want to become immune to it. Right. You want that response of like it taking your breath away, making you do that. And then you have to think of an external stressor without being in danger or something, whether it's guns going off or you're in the operating room. We can't replicate that, but what we can replicate is external stressor, which is what an ice bath is, and then controlling the stress. So get in it, try to control your heart rate, control your breathing, calm down, and don't attack the bath. Like, just be in the bath and get out. Like, so you're compounding two things. And that's how I like to use all these practical applications, is how many things can I layer in one. I even do it when I'm eating. So like, I know yogurt is really good for me and my stomach and all the things. Blueberries are one of the only things you can eat one handful of it and get all the benefits of a blueberry, right? So put that in my yogurt. And honey has all the benefits of honey. Put honey in the yogurt. Plus, I like all those things anyway. But I can get them all in one meal, or one snack rather. It's not a meal, but
so all of this experience that you've talked about, the drinking and all of that stuff. This is not just you researching this. Like, you've actually lived this in your life. Like, what has that looked like as far as like drinking and kind of anything at all? Or
absolutely, man. So I was drinking entirely too much. I don't know that I was to the point of alcoholic, but I was definitely beyond what should have been being drank, And so I know that, 3 beers turns to 6 beers to go to sleep, even though it doesn't help your sleep. We're using it to go to sleep or to cope or to escape anxiety or whatever it is. And what really, I had quit doing all of that throughout, me and Paula mending and going to counseling, and then me being in charge of wellness. I was like, man, I should probably not be doing this as much, because I know
I can do better.
I can do better. Like, I'm a medic. I know what this is doing to me. And what really changed everything was this. So putting on a Garmin watch and then getting the what is it called? Garmin Connect app where you can see your sleep. And I didn't know that my Garmin went to 100 on sleep score because I was sleeping so crappy. And I started.
I just went to 40.
Yeah. I'm like 40. I'm maxing this bad boy out. I don't know why it's telling me your sleep is terrible. Like I got 9 hours of sleep. I feel like I feel okay. I'm fatigued during the day, but man, I start applying this stuff, everything we've talked about, and then cutting out drinking alone is made my sleep score slowly start creeping up. It was from 40 to like 60 to 70 to 80. And then like last night was a 91 on sleep.
Way.
Yeah, dude. And my body battery jumped up to like 80, I think, last night. And then what's crazy is I can have 1 beer or 2 beers. So drink completely within reason. And that night, I know for a fact that night I might as well just throw my sleep out the window, man. I know that I'm going to wake up the next day and I'm going to have a sleep score back in the 40s, and my HRV is going to plummet. Everything off of 2 beers, like me just, and that's the only thing I change. Like I don't change my diet. I still work out that day. I still try to walk around barefooted like crazy person. Like
The data doesn't lie.
Yeah, the data doesn't lie, man. You can't fake it. So yeah, that's been really this. And then what I really like about it, and Daniel mentioned this too, he's like, then you start comparing it to other people that are doing it.
Yeah,
and now it's a competition.
I'm 70. I'm steady at 77 for the month, man. That's good for me. I sleep like crap.
Yeah, that's not a bad score. That's not bad.
Yeah, but it's been real bad. That's with a lot of improvement.
That's awesome. But yeah, that was the biggest. Now I don't enjoy it. And what's crazy is I'm not the only one. I've had friends of mine that have taken my class, or they read that guide or whatever, and they go buy a Whoop or a Garmin and they start tracking it, and they'll call me and say, dude, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm like, why, man? And they're like, dude, it messes up my sleep. Like really, and I don't feel good now. Like once you start sleeping decent, like 70 and above, you feel a different way during the day. And now when you do drink and you don't feel that way the next day, you're like, dude, I don't know if I'm just getting old, or maybe when I was drinking, I just thought that was normal to feel that way. I didn't remember what good felt like anymore. So yeah, I highly recommend it to anybody. And if you take the class, like the 1-day class comes with a Garmin, because I think it's that valuable. It's part of your tuition. Like when you pay the tuition to be in the class, we give you a Garmin watch you get to keep, because I think it's that valuable of a tool to help you see what's going on with your daily activity.
Yeah.
Like where are you for real? Can't lie through that thing.
Yeah. I see so many folks that get into recovery and they're doing everything they need to be doing, but there's so much other stuff we can do. I mean, you're staying up late, drinking coffee at an 8 o'clock meeting, going home, staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, looking at stuff you're not supposed to be looking at on your phone, and wondering, why am I not happy? Why is my life not real? I mean, I'm just empty, miserable. I'm doing, like I said, doing all the stuff. And so I think it's so important for our listeners to really ask ourselves, like, are we doing the stuff that we should probably be doing as well? A lot of times in recovery, we can kind of get very siloed. We can get very like, this is what we're going to do, and this is it. And we don't really want to talk about what the church is doing or what the physical therapist is doing or what like we want it to be this right here. And it really leaves somebody just kind of sitting on a one-legged stool. Man, like when we're just doing that, it's like, no, man, get some more legs. You got to get some more branches out, because life's big. It requires a lot of different parts and a lot of different things. And so what you're talking about here, I hope our listeners really do say, you know what? What's one thing that I could do to improve my life and improve my recovery? Maybe it's my diet. Maybe it's my stretching. Maybe it's community building. Maybe it's finding somebody that can help me do some breath work. But doing those things is for me, my recovery.
That's right.
It's not, I'm going to do this and this only. It's no, yes, and let me try this as well.
That's right.
And be mindful. I love what you said about, even wellness can become too much sometimes if we do it overboard, but finding it in the right place, in the right amount, the right time, and doing it. And you're doing it out there in your classes and on social media. I mean, it's just amazing to see somebody that's locally doing that. So thank you for your work.
Well, thank you.
And I hope you guys that are listening, track him down. And even if you don't use the Holos program, use something like it. What Zach Thompson's doing at Center Space. I mean, it's the same
Yeah.
kind of thing. I mean, it's the holistic, it's the whole picture. It's not just, pray it away or 12-step it away, but it's the whole thing about building community and getting in that ice bath or getting some exercise, getting some opioids from freaking running, like getting that natural stuff out there.
So how can people get in touch with you? We've been talking for 55 minutes. This is legit. This has gone by super
by.
fast.
I can't believe it's been 55 minutes, man.
So how can people get in touch with you? How can people get involved? How can people support you?
Yeah, so if you go to holos.training, so just www.holos.training, that's our main website.
HOLOS training.
HOLOS.training.
Okay.
Yeah. If you go there, that website, you can get to all of our social media from there. It's got like the little icons and all that in there. But if you want to look for local courses where we'll be, they're also listed there. Like if you click training, the very top widget or whatever they're called, the button at the top is current courses. So if you click that, it'll show you where we're going. Like we have a class in Brandon, December 9th coming up. So all of Brandon PD and Brandon Fire Department will be there, and as far as I know, it's listed and open, and there's still some slots available as of today to get in there.
You're gonna have to give him permission to come video, or he's just gonna come creep on you.
Yeah, no, I hope he does. Just come.
You'll see
just fly the drone outside
You'll see
the
me
window.
nowhere around. You'll see this drone just like
yeah.
I might have a flag hanging on it.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's perfect. That'd be great. Just be like, just don't pay attention to the drone. Everybody look up here. Just stay in the fight.
dude, I'm super pumped about what you're doing. Like I get I don't know. I get pumped up about stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's because the suicide rate with first responders and military personnel, and that's what you're really like. This is really geared towards people, and not even that, but people in high stress situations, doctors, attorneys. Like there's alcoholism is massive in doctors and attorneys. I know for sure. Doctors, I imagine there's there's any high stress environment, you're going to deal with these things, and you systematically execute and talk about each and every one of these things. Like what you're building here is it's literally going to change the world. So you are allowing, most importantly, you're allowing God to work through you and use your experiences that you've gone through, the heartache, the pain, the successes. You're allowing God, you're taking a step back and working hard and trusting God with the results. And you're opening up the door and saying, God, use me to do this thing. And that is why it's going to be successful. That's why it's successful up to this point, is because it's not about you. It's about you allowing God to use your experiences to help save lives.
Amen.
Man, I appreciate you saying that. I really do. And I say this on just about every podcast and in every class. So I'll say it again. And I teach this to my kids. The only two things that matter in life are your relationship with God and your relationship with people. Like it doesn't matter. Like right now at their phases of life, they're looking at being a baseball player and a dancer and a football player. And I'm like, that's fine. Like you can totally do those things. And I hope you do those things and do them well at a professional level. Would be amazing. But if God allows you to have that platform, you need to maintain your relationship with him along the way. And then look at that platform and say, how does this benefit other people? Because if you just do it for you, if you just do it for the profits, if you just do it to wear the gold chains or whatever it is, to get the Lamborghinis and Bugattis or whatever, you will still be empty at the end of the day.
100%.
Dude, I saw this thing, not to like take up more time, and I just sent it to my boys. Was it Andrew Tate? Is that his name?
Yeah.
So I saw him on, and I don't follow him. I don't follow a lot of people anyway on social media. So, but he came up on my reels the other day. He's sitting on a couch, and he starts talking about. Now I don't know where he is on the faith spectrum at all, and I don't know where he is on believing about like God and people. But he said the same thing I just said. He's like, you know what's crazy is when you have billions of dollars, have all the cars, all the things you thought you wanted, you've got them all the watches, all the clothes, all the houses. You've achieved all of it. He's like, you get there, and he's like, then you sit on a couch like this, and you're just kind of like, what? Like, what was it for? What's next? And I was like, man, that's the guy literally just said what I'm saying. If you do it for those things or for yourself, you get all the way to the tippity top of what culture tells you is the tip top. And the dude's still lonely.
It's a hollow existence.
Yeah, it's like, what's next now? And the way he finishes it is, he was like, if you go down the dark path of that, the next thing is power. Trying to get power over people is the next thing. And I'm like, so again, just from a negative perspective, it still comes back to people.
Right.
You're just going at it from the wrong angle.
Right.
So if from the beginning you can focus on people and care about people, which is what I do. And that's what I try to instill in my kids and everybody in class is like, you have to put people, everything you do, if you tie it to them and bettering their life, man, you get so much more benefit out of that for you. Like, you feel like every time I teach a class and people say things like what you just said, or they come up and they're like, man, this was the best wellness class I've ever sat through, or I really didn't want to sit through this today. I was made to sit here, if I'm being honest, but it was hands down the best class I've ever sat through. I'm like, man, if I can just hit one more life, if just one more person will take this stuff and apply it and it saves their marriage, it saves their life, it saves their career, then it's worth it. It's freaking worth getting
That's
up in
wealth.
front of them and talking.
That's wealth.
Agreed. So, yeah. Thanks for allowing me to say that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. We can't do the show without you. We appreciate you coming on and talking about you're into some cool. I love having guests that are fired up about something that want to talk because, man, it's asking questions gets old, dude. So super glad that you got a story to tell and you're passionate about it and it's changing lives. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're fighting the fight, man. Appreciate everything you do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time on The Recovery Lab.